Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program here on a pretty nice Monday outside. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And where to begin? Well, the word seems to be, sadly, random murder. Of course, it became viral over the weekend when a young Ukrainian woman who is a Ukrainian refugee from the war over there in Charlotte, North Carolina, decides to take their equivalent of the metro or the bus, or not the bus, the subway. The video has gone viral far and wide. And what the video shows is this young girl, I believe was 24, gets on the subway car, sits down, and in the row right behind her is a young, relatively black man who all of a sudden just pulls out a knife, stabs her to death. You can see him walking around the cab, another cab, blood dripping everywhere, especially from the knife. This was being shared far and wide, all over X, all over social media. It's a shocking attack. It's one of those senseless attacks. And despite this being viral for the weekend, it wasn't until just this morning that CBS News actually ran with it. I guess CNN just threw something up this morning as well. But as all this is breaking and all this is coming out online, the legacy media was quite silent. Quite silent indeed. You even had people taking screenshots of Wikipedia showing how that bastion of so-called knowledge works. Saying an editor to a page, somebody made a page about the killing of this young woman. An editor has nominated this article for deletion, saying nothing is remarkable about this. So random, shocking stabbing to death, a murder. Caught on video, nothing to see here. And if not for people online continuing to push this, would CBS and NBC and CNN have even begun their reporting on it? CBS News has now finally done a story. And let's just say it doesn't fit the narrative necessarily. So let's hear what the corporate media is throwing down now that they finally have gotten to this conversation. I'm not even sure who the people are on CBS Morning anymore. I don't think I need to know. Just another actor in a suit or a nice business dress thing, whatever these weird things women wear, reading a script. Let's see how they did this time.
Now to a senseless attack on a Ukrainian refugee in this country. 23-year-old Irina Zarutska, was killed last month in Charlotte, North Carolina on the light rail there in what officials are calling a random attack. New surveillance video shows exactly what happened. We're not going to show you the moment of the stabbing, but a warning, this footage is still disturbing. Skylar Henry reports.
It's just before 10 p.m. on August 22nd, and 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr. is seated on a Charlotte light rail train. Several other people are around him. According to officials, a few minutes later, the train doors open, and 23-year-old Irina Zarutska gets on and takes a seat in front of Brown. She's wearing what appears to be a work uniform, AirPods, and looking at her phone. But then, the unthinkable happens. You see Brown pull out what officials say was a pocket knife. He unfolds it, then stands up behind Zarutska. What we aren't showing you is the moment where Brown then stabs Zarutska several times and walks away. Here you can see Brown trying to get off the train. Then a few people spring into action, attempting to save Zarutska. She would die from her injuries. Meanwhile, Brown, who has removed his hoodie, waits for the train to stop. Then you see him exit.
Officials say it appears that Brown and Zarutska did not know each other, and a motive for the stabbing remains under investigation. According to court documents, Brown has a criminal history dating back to 2011, including robbery with a dangerous weapon and other offenses. Charlotte's mayor, Vi Lyles, released this statement on X, saying in part, "This was a senseless and tragic loss. My prayers remain with her loved ones as they continue to grieve through an unimaginable time."
Brown is charged with first-degree murder and remains behind bars. For CBS Mornings, I'm Skylar Henry.
We didn't see it, but it's extremely upsetting.
Yeah, no kidding. Extremely upsetting. This guy shouldn't have been out and about. Shouldn't have happened. And again, this video just went viral over the weekend. People bringing attention to it. But it looks like a lot of the, say, corporate press didn't want to bring attention to it. Finally, about 6 hours ago, Axios put this out. The gruesome video of the fatal knife attack on Irina Zarutska on a light rail car in Charlotte is drawing attention from MAGA influencers seeking to elevate the issue of violent urban crime and accuse mainstream media of undercovering shocking cases. Yeah, so it's not just a straight-up report on the story. It is the classic Republicans pounce angle on the story. And within that Axios piece, they do these breakdowns. And what they're saying the big picture is the rising number of surveillance cameras in public spaces, including on Charlotte's light rail, has become a big accelerant in these cases. The video is easily shared or leaked and can instantly pollinate across social media, a visual counterpoint to statistics showing crime decreases. Well, if it is decreasing, it's not enough. And I love how so many of these folks would act like, well, if we found some crazy violent event on video and it went viral far and wide, I mean, we would never share anything like that to push an agenda, regardless of the statistics, right? No, you would. And you've been waiting on it. They have been waiting. They have been praying for an inciting event to be caught on film so we can have another excuse to tear this damn place apart. I guess when the inciting events are on the other side of the line, when the inciting events that are common sense, you can see plain as day with your own eyes, play into the favor of, say, what the Trump administration is trying to do, or leaving Trump and the administration out of it, what conservatives generally feel about in terms of crime and how crime should be stopped, how the law should be enforced. But it didn't just happen here. It wasn't just a viral video from a month ago showing a shocking murder, senseless one. We have another story out of Auburn, Alabama. A former Auburn University professor, former veterinarian professor, 59. She was apparently walking her dog in Kiesel Park. It's a little outside of the proper city limits of Auburn. And here's the local media report on this incident where, while walking her dog in that park, she's attacked and apparently brutally stabbed to death as well.
Have made an arrest in the death of former Auburn professor Dr. Julie Shinelli. This update coming just about 5 minutes ago in a press release. Auburn police say they have arrested Harold Rashad Dabney III from Montgomery and have charged him with 2 counts of capital murder in connection to the death of Dr. Shinelli at Kiesel Park. Police say they received a call about a suspicious person on around 8:45 a.m. on Sunday morning on Beehive Road. And Auburn police say through contact with Dabney, they have made the observation and through further investigation have labeled Dabney the suspect in the homicide involving Dr. Shinelli. Now, according to Lee County Coroner Daniel Sexton, Shinelli's wounds appear to be consistent with sharp force trauma, meaning caused by a knife or other sharp objects. And also, Auburn police say that the Shinelli's red Ford F-150 that was taken from Kiesel Park on Saturday was found along Lee Road 177 or Wire Road in Auburn. And Auburn police have taken that truck. And it was found abandoned again on Wire Road in Auburn on Sunday afternoon. Now, Kiesel Park is still closed and remains a crime scene with crime scene tape still up at the gate. And Auburn police say it will remain closed through the weekend. I've spoken to several people here in Auburn along Wire Road, along Chadwick Lane, where Kiesel Park is. And everyone is saying the same thing, that it's very sad. And it comes as a shock to hear that it was so close to their homes on Chadwick Lane and also happening in Auburn. I spoke to several people that were at Auburn Vet School, where Dr. Shinelli was a professor until 2021. And they say that she was a very highly regarded professor. And they were extremely sad to hear about this tragedy at Kiesel Park. But Auburn police say that this is all the information they have right now. But if any new information is released by Auburn police, we'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online at WTVM.com.
Again, now 1819 News is reporting similarly. Same thing. Auburn University put out this statement saying Julie Gard Shinelli, DVM, I think that's Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, PhD, was a beloved member of the Auburn University's College of Veterinary Medicine and the Auburn family. She served as a faculty member in the Department of Clinical Sciences in the large food animal section from 2003 to 2021, when she retired as a professor emerita. And again, Auburn police have arrested Harold Rashad Dabney III of Montgomery in connection to the death of this retired Auburn professor, Shinelli. Charged with 2 counts of capital murder. Investigators believe he stole a red Ford F-150 after the attack and fled the scene, later arrested. Being held without bond. Anyone with information about this attack should contact Auburn police. The police are requesting. It should never happen. It does. Happens way too often. But you never know. Happens way too often in cities, in particular in this nation. Happens way too often in cities in Alabama, in this place we call home. In Birmingham, in Montgomery. And you can go down the list. It's not always the cities, no doubt. But it's too many. And in the name of saving face, while essentially admitting helplessness, you have so many folks that will run to statistics to say, oh, well, it's like we're going in the right direction on this, that, or the other. We're doing the best we can. Excuse me if many of us don't believe that. Tired of this learned, chosen helplessness, that it's wrapped up in some like moral superiority. That you can't stop this sort of thing. It's not moral. It is not sensible to be helpless in the face of folks. They're drug-addled or mentally ill on the streets. Folks that have been in and out of jail, in and out of prison. Allowing this to happen as often as we've allowed it to happen in many cities and places around this nation. It's not a matter of we did the best we can't do anything more. No, it is a choice to say we're helpless in front of this. We can't really solve your problems because if we actually crack down, certain people might be punished. And punishment is just an ugly thing. So we'd rather be helpless. We'd rather be harmless than actually dole out punishment, especially to the most heinous crimes that should be dealt with severely and swiftly. And as far as the larger media wars go on, of course this is what happens. You find your inciting event and you run with it. Is this the best way to make public policy? Should it require the President of the United States to make sure that Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, or Montgomery, Alabama are practicing best policies when it comes to policing? No, it shouldn't take a president of the United States. It shouldn't take a corporate media outrage storm in either direction, whether it's a crackdown on crime or George Floyd with a knee on his neck. It shouldn't require these sensational stories that don't really allow us to accomplish anything other than go, oh, how sad, how awful. Now let's fight for some ridiculous change that has really nothing to do with that. But that's the world we live in. Garbage in, garbage out, who's up, who's down, every day in the news. What's the solution to all this? I think it is just focus on local. It shouldn't require a viral post on X or a tweet from Donald Trump or the White House or something the Democrats now came up with and said. But of course, when I say Democrats, I mean like NBC and CBS and all these other places too. It shouldn't be this way. We should be able to have honest, rough conversations with our local neighbors. Instead, we're caught up in this national spectacle, where in particular, this young woman's brutal random murder is just another piece to see as you scroll. It's disgusting. It shouldn't happen, but it is. Beyond Democrats and Republicans and who's up, who's down in terms of the politics and the messaging and yada, 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 which seems like an eternal fight with no frickin' point to it in the end. Every single person in a position of leadership, whether in law enforcement or politically, especially at the local level, should have heightened attention to all this. It's the most basic function of government. To keep your people safe. It's the most basic function. And how do we keep screwing it up so much? Well, because we got government off doing a bunch of other things, claiming to solve problems that, well, never really get solved. So they need more money, they need more authority, they need this, that, and the other. But maybe if we focus on the basics at the local level, and I'll give them their due, it doesn't happen overnight. But sometimes we're working on it goes on year after year after year to the point of, are you actually working on it? It doesn't seem like you really want to fix the problem. It seems like fixing the problem would create a whole other problem in your mind. Not sure what problem, but a whole other one. Should get back to the basics. If you don't have order on your streets, and I mean any street, I don't just mean the nice streets out in East Montgomery, every street in Montgomery, if you don't have order on those streets, then what chance does a kid have for a good education? What chance does a young man or woman have to actually start up a business? To invest and buy a home? To have stake in their community? When you have no order, what chance is there of doing that? And so you see it generation after generation after generation. And there is always some system to blame, some other evil person that took advantage of you and exploited. Yeah, sure, it's the way of the world. Maybe if we focus on the basics, the most fundamental thing government is supposed to do, protect its streets, protect its people. You got to wonder, what's the point of government at all? Because I don't think, for all the theorists I've read when it comes to politics, that the point of government is for a select few folks to get rich off everybody else. A select few folks to get certain special privileges over everybody else. Because that's how government seems to have functioned in reality, despite the claims to, keeping you safe and doing all these other things. My least favorite way to begin the week really is. That's what's in the news. And I hope beyond just the push by Trump or the reaction from the Democrats and the, again, seesawing back and forth, that again, local officials, local leaders, and I don't just mean mayors and city councilmen and all this other stuff. I mean leaders in every aspect need to understand it's about the basics. And for too long, we've been making excuses for helplessness and actually living up to that promise. 272-9228, if you want to get in on the program. That's 334-272-9228. There is other things to get to. Less heavy, I certainly hope. But I think this, at the end of the day, is one of those issues, especially now that the corporate media doesn't have control over the conversation. It's not going away. It shouldn't take, again, the spectacle of social media. It shouldn't take all this wailing and gnashing of teeth online. But apparently that's what it does take. Apparently it does take Trump being big and bold and saying, I'm going to war in cities. Apparently that's what it takes. I don't think it should. But that's where we're going. Again, 272-9228 if you want to react to any of this. It's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and her fantastic team are ready to help you out. Could be you're just looking for a great local company that has efficient, consistent, responsible, professional pest control services on offer. That's Pest Pro Services. They really are pros. They can get you set up on a basic pest control protection plan, and then you can add to that termite inspection and protection. You can add to that treating the yard for fleas, for ticks, for fire ants, mosquitoes, if you're trying to actually enjoy your property. They can do it all there at Pest Pro. And the great news is they are local. They are great local folks. You know, when you spend your money with them, it's going to stay here in the local community. Y'all check them out today. You can always call them up direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Clear sailing this week with a forecast that is very tolerable as far as humidity and pleasantly cool at night. Today, lots of sunshine, dry, comfortable humidity, high temperature in the middle 80s with mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature, I've got us down around 66. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, more sun, a dry forecast. 86 tomorrow, 89 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, but the humidity under control, 60s at night, and dry through Saturday. From the National Weather Association Conference in Huntsville, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Clark. Hey, Clark, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, sir. And yourself?
Yeah. Honestly, a lot better than I sounded that first 30 minutes, but this stuff gets me
that
going.
was a rough 30 minutes. So I'm going to call her Dr. Julie Gard because the whole time I knew her, she was Dr. Gard to me. She got married subsequent to that. So she was probably the premier small animal ruminant veterinarian in the southeastern United States for quite some time. Nicest person you'd ever want to meet. And she wasn't any more than 5'2". In her pocket, you might get up to 100 pounds. Went out to take the dog for a walk, broad daylight, and was stabbed to death. Now, just the tragic loss, and then the impact on everyone else. Because you're not safe. Doesn't matter how public a place, doesn't matter middle of the day time, all these self-defense and situational awareness. She wasn't in a dark alley.
No.
She was at a dog park in broad daylight. So, just a super fine person. Now, I am a veterinarian. If I had a dog at my clinic that had bitten someone there for rabies quarantine and the person knows the dog doesn't come to get it, you think I could adopt that dog out to somebody else?
No.
No. He's a proven biter. I don't know what my legal liability would be, but I cannot, in good conscience, get somebody else to take that dog and be responsible for someone else being bitten. Why don't we have judicial responsibility? I guarantee you there's a judge that could have had this man incarcerated. I don't know that for a fact yet, but let's wait and see what the facts bear out. Right. I doubt this was his first dance with violence, breaking the law. He wanted a truck, so he killed somebody and took it. So there's that. Now, on the mainstream media, they have a policy. If it does not fit, they will omit. Did you ever hear about the man that was decapitated in the parking lot at Western Sizzling in Boaz 3 months ago?
Nope.
Nope, never heard about that. You know why? It did not fit, so they omit. And I don't know. I seriously wonder, have you ever met a police officer that did not want the police? I've never met a police officer that did not want a police.
Most of them until they get demoralized by department leadership and they realize,
well,
but I know what you're saying.
Now, we've got a lot of prosecutors that don't want to prosecute. Of course, you got to give George Soros credit. He figured out where he could spend the least of millions of dollars and have the most deleterious impact on our society. And I don't know. I begin to wonder if this is all Cloward Pibbins, and if we get the situation so bad, people will be able to trade what they had for security and tyranny.
Yeah, and I think we need to punch a higher floor across the board, from the point of policing and arrest to the point of what the judges are doing with their discretion, where they have it, especially in denying people bail if they committed heinous violent crimes. I think also with the speed of our trials and how drawn out these often are, it shouldn't be that way. And then when you look at the prisons, not only the quality of the prisons themselves, but then on the back end, I saw a great interview recently with Brian Dawson talking to Cam Ward about if you really do want to rehabilitate people, say they didn't commit some heinous crime, maybe they have mental issues, yada, yada, yada. How are we doing as a community to rehabilitate people? So I think we need to up our game across the board in terms of harsh punishment and arrest, but also in terms of if you really do want to change your life, that's available too. And it seems like, especially in cases of people that are either out of their mind or drugs have got them and thus they're out of their mind, we're also dropping the ball on that.
Yes. Well, if the person in prison is to rehabilitate, at some point in time, we need to back up and say, you know what, this isn't working.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, there are certain folks that are not going to be rehabilitated.
Right.
Definitely true. There's some folks that are just no damn good. I don't disagree with that at all. I just think we're also dropping the ball on the person who says is truly repentant, has truly changed their heart, wants to do the best thing, and they're kind of left in the lurch too. And so it's not like a huge
Alabama
handout.
football team dropped the ball this much, would the people in the state of Alabama tolerate that?
No, that's why I think they won 62-0 or whatever.
Why is a 19 or 20-year-old football player held to a higher standard than our judicial system?
Bread and circuses, my friend. Bread and circuses.
Probably so. Keep doing what you do, sir.
Thank you, Clark. Hits differently when it hits close to home. And that's just always going to be the case. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Howdy.
Hey, who's this?
Crawdad.
Hey, Crawdad.
I turned on the radio, got what's happening with the Joey Clark show, and we're talking about church over here.
Church is a big part of it.
Yes, it is. The name Christopher in the Greek is Christopheros.
Mm-hmm.
It means one who bore the Christ child. The story about St. Christopher. Nobody, I give you the short of it, nobody beyond being able to be rescued. Nobody. And that's why St. Christopher is the protector of the little children. But the story about he was considered, if you read about the story of St. Christopher, he was reprobate. The community, there was no way this person was going to be saved. But the story about it, people should read the story about that. Nobody is without the ability to be saved.
Yeah, and I'm looking at just the basic story about him. There are many different accounts.
That's right.
But one is after he converted to Christianity, he devoted his life to carrying travelers across a river. One day, he carried an unknown young boy across the river, after which the boy was revealed to him as Christ. Because of this help to travelers, he became the patron saint of travelers.
Yep. The deep part of that story is that he, before meeting the Lord, he was lost, totally lost. But that was what changed everything. So nobody is without redemption. Not one soul is without redemption. So that's what I heard when I turned on the radio. I just had to say about the story of Christopher, one who bore the Christ child.
Thank you, Crawdad. You sound good today, too. Thank you, sir.
I'm doing really good. I visited a very nice nurse, came to see me and check on me. She said, I'm doing great.
Well, when you got a young nurse tickling you, life's all right.
Hold on a minute. He's a nice married lady. You can't. Don't say that. That's shame on you. Shame on you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, if Bo Holt, if you're listening, your peace lily is in the plant hospital and is going to be fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Crawdad.
Anytime you need anything from me, don't call here. I'm totally useless.
That's fair. Just call me. Later, man. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joe, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, good. Calling. I know everybody's talking about the lady that professor who got murdered by one of our exports from Montgomery. My question is, has this guy, I think, has been on the radar. There's some people said he was arrested for like sawed-off shotgun in another state and some other stuff.
Yeah,
Have you
I
heard
don't,
about
just sitting here right now, I don't know, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, so my question is, do we know if had been thrown in jail here in Montgomery? If he had been, he had a rap sheet here in the county, and was this another example of like another Anaya Blanchard where a guy was let out, on a low bail, and all of a sudden he just reappears in Auburn and does this horrific deed?
Let's hope not,
And,
because it's bad enough as is. If it could have been prevented, and the state passed some pretty good laws to give more power to judges to keep people locked up like that. And
yeah, but I mean, the problem is it's happening every day in the city of Montgomery. I mean, these people are repeat offenders, and the other part is, the interesting part about the news is they'll say this guy was put on about who's the judges. Name the judge. See, that's the problem. These folks at the county and they're hiding behind this cloak of like secrecy of who's letting these people out. Name the judges. If you're allowing somebody to get out on bond, and they're a repeat offender, and a good example of it was a lady here in Montgomery. She lived in my neighborhood in Midtown. This guy was thrown in jail. He had been doing some other activity and was thrown in jail for a grand theft auto. He gets out, and literally like 3 days later, this dude ends up killing a woman in the back of her house.
I remember.
While she's sitting on her patio.
I used to drive by that house all the time, pick up Jack Campbell. Yep.
Yeah. But why? But we don't know the judge. Name the judges. They need to be held accountable. We did pass the law with Anaya Blanchard, but I mean, these people are still getting out of low bails here in Montgomery. I mean, something's going on. Either there's some type of deal being had here in the county with defense attorneys, or something's going on, because this is absurd. And we're becoming, I mean, even people they're reading about this lady dying, it's like, oh, Montgomery, I'm not shocked at all. And we're becoming a laughing stock because of this. I mean, it's like we have nothing. It's like we don't have cops. We don't have a criminal justice system here. Yep. No one's held accountable for anything.
Well, I mean, you've heard the police chief and the mayor himself complaining about what you just laid down. They can't arrest their way out of the problem because the folks are right back out. And they got to arrest them again, and they're right back out. Yeah. And this is what I mean by across the board at every level, whether it's point of arrest or hopefully, God willing, rehabilitation maybe on the other side, or it's the point of punishment, like just across the board. This is like the most fundamental role of government, like justice,
absolutely,
and protection of human rights. Like that's the whole point.
That's right.
And the twisted thing is, in the name of human rights, we've learned this helplessness of like, well, we can't be too tough on everybody. We might violate their rights.
It's like this deal up in Charlotte. The governor was like, "Oh, we feel sorry for this young lady dying." All this. Well, he was in the fourth beginning of talking about this new way of prosecuting crimes and allowing people second chances. And look, guess what? It came back and bit him. This guy had been out. Dude, that guy up in Charlotte been in and out of prison or jail like 13 times. And he finally kills this young lady. But not going to be held accountable. No one's going to be held accountable. That's the whole thing here in Montgomery. No one in the city of Montgomery and the county is ever held accountable for anything. For water parks that cost multi-millions of dollars, for just stupid errors and dumb mistakes. I mean, no one is ever held accountable. And it's top down, man. I mean, it's pathetic. It's getting to the point, and I said this on Greg's show, it's getting to the point, it's pathetic. This town is pathetic. I mean, something has got to give. And I'm not so sure not every single one of those people at the city council, the mayor's office, and you've got to remember those judges too. You vote for them. Get rid of them all. They've got to be they need to be fired, every single one of them, because we're not getting our money's worth here in this county. at all.
Well, I appreciate the call, Chris.
Yep.
Thanks, sir. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's us?
It's Simpler Days.
Hey, Simpler Days. How you doing?
Well, I've been better. It's just another wasted, very productive life. Person that, spent her life reaching a point where she could retire, and this is what happens to her. I mean, Joey, if you are a female in this day and time, and you want to live to enjoy your retirement, draw your Social Security, you need to get you a 380 and keep it on you when you are out alone. It's just that simple. Or you can move 200 miles away from a blue city. 200 miles away from a blue city. And you can find safety. But you're in striking distance of Montgomery or Birmingham, you are a sitting duck if you're a female, by herself, alone. And as the previous caller said, you got, and Trump's trying to fight it, this no bail, minimum cash bail, trying to prove a point that we can be so understanding of criminals that we want to quickly release them back on the population. Violent, dangerous people.
It is pretty crazy. Again, in the name of human rights, we're actually forgetting protecting human rights.
And back in the old West, Joey, they Colt manufactured a 45 long Colt, and it was called the Peacemaker. And they used it to kill desperados, gang members, thieves, outlaws, rapists. Well, it did a pretty good job, and it's still being produced. And it's time for the old Peacemaker to take over. And when these individuals fear law enforcement, that they're going to meet consequences for their actions. And all this talk, they don't understand that. But they understand words that have action. So it's time, and like you said earlier, you never met a policeman that didn't want to do their job. Policemen like to hunt. It's like the good old hunting dog. You go and you train him to hunt, but when he brings the squirrel back and lays it down at your feet, you stole him. So you say you can't hunt this area, but you can only hunt right here. Well, then you kill the desire and the want for the good hunting dog to hunt. So I am so sorry for her. I'm sorry for her family. And I only wish there would have been a peacemaker in close proximity that could have dealt with him. Have a good day.
Appreciate it, Simpler Days. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, this is Mizzou Mole.
I'm sorry. Say your name again.
Mizzou Mole.
Mizzou Mole. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, despite what I've been saying and presenting on air today. Actually doing great personally.
Well, everybody's complaining about all these criminals being out on the street. The courts don't hold them. Part of the problem people are not understanding is there's no place to put them.
Mm-hmm.
The jails in this state are overcrowded. And, we've got jails that are running at 50% over capacity. And, it's time for a new jail, and the voters are not going to pass what needs to be passed to raise the money.
Right.
And that's on us.
And I think this is why I keep saying we got to up our game across the board. And some of this, I think of like people that are mentally insane. Like I was just reading over the weekend a report, one of the review oversight agencies as state ACEs on our mental health crisis centers. And the long and short of it is not enough data to know whether or not they're actually doing a good job. And if we have enough, and it's just, it's not enough, whether it's where to put people, whether they're mentally insane or they're criminal. I think we need more resources for rehabilitation, need more resources for cops. I think also the voters need to be very considerate of who they're electing to be their judges.
Absolutely. And not only that, somebody needs to sit down and get a comprehensive view of how things get funded, because as I understand it, you put a prisoner in jail, he's a losing proposition in terms of he costs more to sit in jail, even without having to go do any fancy medical issues. That's a whole different problem. But just feeding them every day. What the jail gets in terms of funding from the state and the county and the city or whoever is, or from the feds even, is less than what it costs to feed them. And that's not even counting, having to do their laundry and all the rest.
Sure.
So, that whole regime needs to be understood, rethought, and hopefully funded. I mean, if you want them off the street, then you got to have a place to put them.
Well said. I appreciate it, sir.
Have a good day.
You too. Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Joey.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
Yeah. I know right where you was coming from with that a while ago.
Oh, sure. I'd like to come out joking around in rainbows every day, but sometimes that's not the way the world is.
Yeah, I know. Here's my own personal opinion on all that. When these people are released and then they go back and do such heinous crimes, why do we not hold the attorneys who got them out accountable? Why do we not hold the judges who said, okay, this is how much bond you got to pay? How do, make them associate, the wrong word, make them part of the crime that the person did. Debar them and put them in prison. If that person later on gets the death penalty because of what they did, well, guess what? The attorney that got them out and the judge that got them out should get the same thing, because they did. They turned them loose. They knew they had a bad rap sheet. They knew they were dangerous people. Otherwise, they're not going to take them as a client to begin with to say, oh, yeah, we can get you out, but you got to be sure and come back to court. Oh, by the way, don't be doing nothing else while you're my client. Right.
I hear where you're coming from.
Telling,
it might be a little too heavy-handed in the sense that it'll just tie everybody's hands, like public defenders and judges will never want to even flirt with that. But your basic idea, I think there's something right about a clawback provision or responsibility, even if indirect, because everybody does have a right to a public defender, and you do ideally want your judges to have discretion and actually be human beings, not just like it's not like we're going to put AI or a robot in as a judge. And some of this does come down to who you're actually electing as your judges. So when you see that crime story and that person has been in and out, that needs to be clear as day. And maybe that's something we'll start doing here. The more we see these stories, start calling out the judges, letting these people go.
Yeah, I think it was Crawdad that said, give us their names. Name the names publicly of who the attorney was and who the judge was that let them back out on the street. All right?
Yep.
As far as the attorney goes, I don't know how to go about getting them debarred, but the state holds that in their hands. So where does the public go to the state to get this person debarred to help get that person back on the street? As far as the judge, we know their name. let's not vote them back in office.
Right. Well,
somehow there's got to be some accountability. Now, if we go to Scripture, to the Old Testament, and we go to Judges, it didn't matter how high up you went. If you was wrong, you was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to be sounding like I'm being a bomber pumper, but we have let this go entirely too long. And if we go back to the Word of God, we can straighten a lot of this mess out.
Well, on this and many other
Later,
issues.
Bubba.
Thank you, Paul. 272-9228. If you want to join in on the conversation, again, that's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they're ready to help you fellas out if you just don't feel like yourself. You're tired all the live long day. You're never in the mood. You're falling asleep like right after lunch, seeing them with a weight gain, loss of muscle mass. Like you don't feel like a man. Like, what is this weak creature I've become? The shell of myself. Well, you don't have to assume that's just part of aging or just, no, that's just how I am. No, low energy and performance issues are not inevitable. Solutions do exist. And so why not get by Montgomery Men's Health? There's no guesswork, no gimmicks, not like they're throwing a bunch of generic fixes at you. No, the urologists and providers there will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. A consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. You need to know whether or not you have low testosterone. And if you do have low T, they have treatments there that can make you feel better the very same day. Gentlemen, you only got one life. Procrastination's only going to make this worse. So call up Montgomery Men's Health today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663 or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Book your appointment today.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Supreme Court clearing the way for federal agents to conduct sweeping immigration operations in Los Angeles. The justices lifted a restraining order from a judge who said roving patrols were conducting indiscriminate arrests in L.A. The Trump administration's Religious Liberty Commission holding its second hearing in Washington. Commission members will hear testimony from Christian students and parents about unfair treatment. South Korea reaching a deal with the U.S. for the release of South Korean workers detained in an immigration raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia. Presidential Chief of Staff Kong Hoon-sik said South Korea plans to send a charter plane to bring the workers home. More than 300 South Koreans were among the 475 people detained. On Wall Street, the Dow is up a dozen points, the Nasdaq adding 114. This is SRN News.
Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show here. Everything's getting more expensive these days, groceries to gas, healthcare. If you're feeling that squeeze, you're not alone. Listen, your biggest asset might just be the answer, your home. That's why I strongly recommend my good friends at Fellowship Home Loans. Mike and Brian and the team have helped so many families, especially in times like these, tap into their home's equity to keep their head above water, whether it's covering rising medical costs, helping out a loved one, or just breathing room in your monthly budget. They can help. You see, you're not giving up. You're just getting smart because at the end of the day, it's about protecting your family and your future. Make sure you ask how you can skip 2 mortgage payments when you refinance. 2. Going into the fall and the holidays, that could really be helpful, right? Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. It's Fellowship Home Loans. Fellowship Home Loans. Mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Clear sailing this week with a forecast that is very tolerable as far as humidity and pleasantly cool at night. Today, lots of sunshine, dry, comfortable humidity, high temperature in the middle 80s with mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature, I've got us down around 66. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, more sun, a dry forecast. 86 tomorrow, 89 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, but the humidity under control, 60s at night, and dry through Saturday. From the National Weather Association Conference in Huntsville, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A retired Auburn University professor was the victim of a fatal assault Saturday afternoon. The body of 59-year-old Dr. Julie Gard-Shanuli was discovered in a wooded area of Kiesel Park with her Ford F-150 truck missing. A Montgomery man, 31-year-old Harold Rashad Dabney, was arrested and charged with capital murder in the case. An investigation is underway after a deadly weekend house fire in Montgomery. Fire rescue units responded to the 300 block of Bowling Green Drive late Friday night, where the back of the home was engulfed in flames. A 56-year-old man was brought out of the house unconscious and was later pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's name has not yet been released. A second suspect has been arrested in connection to two related homicides that occurred last July. 19-year-old Cordarius Thomas is charged with the murders of Malik Benson and DeKeith Watley. The victims were shot and killed minutes apart at two separate locations in the Capitol Heights area on Saturday, July 12th. A 22-year-old Montgomery man was previously arrested in the case. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway. Still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and joining us on the phone
We have Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Hey, having a great day, Joe. How about you?
Oh, life is all right. Personally, a lot in the news, just harrowing, and I don't love it. But let's talk a little shop on what's going on with the Fed. I saw they put out about 3 names, including Kevin Hassett, and there's still a lot of just chatter from the Treasury Secretary and so many others in the administration about the Federal Reserve. What's the latest with all this?
Yeah, so Hassett's certainly one of the 3 names that I see circulating. In fact, a couple of months ago when we were speculating about who the next Fed chair could be, his name was already kind of in the hat. But Chris Waller as well is one that I'd say is constantly coming up again, and I'm also seeing Kevin Warsh. And they all have a couple of different benefits and drawbacks. You know, the benefit to Kevin Warsh is, he's former Fed governor, and he's got some crisis era experience. I mean, you could say that he's been in a hot seat before, although I really wouldn't compare his hot seat to kind of the politicized angle of the Fed these days. I think that Hassett is somebody who he's aligned with Trump economically, and I would say politically too, even though maybe a little bit less so politically. It's hard to really fully align yourself with Trump politics. I think that he, is right-wing conservative to a degree, but every now and then Trump will come out with some concepts that are not right-leaning, and I guess the right will sometimes adopt them. But I think that, Hassett would be somebody that's a little bit more central but leans right. But as far as economics go, I think he would be one that champions lower rates, easy borrowing. And then you've got Chris Waller. He's a sitting Fed governor right now, and he's also friendly to the idea of rate cuts. And really all 3 of these are going to be friendly to rate cuts, right? We're not going to be talking about anybody that's going to come in and is going to be really wanting to keep rates stable or raise them. So any of those 3 names wouldn't surprise me. But we have a long way to go before, we're going to see who this next person is. And I think more importantly, at least in the short term, is I think we have the rate cut coming up next week or 9 days from now. And then after that, do we get another before year end? It seems to be shaping up that that's a real possibility. Had you asked me even 3 weeks ago if that was going to happen, I'd have said no chance. Now it's looking like that very well could happen. So we'll see. But yeah, I would say those are probably the 3 biggest names I'm hearing in my centers of influence are Chris Waller, Kevin Hassett, and Kevin Warsh.
Okay. Well, and I know there's so many moving parts to all this, and not to mention the intrigue of going after, what's her name, Lisa, Lisa Cook, one of the Fed governors for potential
the
mortgage
market
fraud.
Didn't digest that very well when he kind of took an angle directly at her. I think that he'll back off of that going forward and try not to do that again. I think that was poorly received from both sides of the aisle, but Trump kind of does as he pleases, but we'll see. I wouldn't expect another outlashing like that anytime soon. At least I'm hoping not, because like I said, markets don't digest that very well.
I mean, wouldn't it be such a lovely world if y'all didn't have to watch the Fed and all these political institutions and, markets set interest rates and the price of money, and, we just kind of let the free market run? Wouldn't that be what a wonderful world?
Yeah, and it used to be able to operate that way, and then you've got people, centers of influence and power, and they get a little over leveraged, and then they get to a point where they have to take control and bail themselves out. And I think we've talked about it, but if you read House of Morgan and go back all the way to the mid 1800s to present, there's cycles of this where we try to get to what we define as free market capitalism, but inevitably in a free market, some people will accumulate more power and control and then exert that power and control to prevent themselves from losing power and control. And you're seeing that play out in real time right now. We do have some mechanisms in place to, I would say, prevent like a 1920 style depression. But if not handled properly, you could see yourself in a pretty severe recession. But I don't think there's a threat of that happening right now. But I totally agree with you. I'd love to see a free market to be able to operate without power grabs. But human nature is to grab for power. And I think we see that going on right now, kind of a power struggle between I'd say the White House and the Fed. But I think in this case, the White House comes out on top, and it's to the benefit of the economy in the long run. And I think Bessent is kind of driving the train. He's one of the smarter guys in the room, and Powell is capitulating. And I think it's best for economics for our country. Is my general take on that.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to keep watching because a lot is hinging on where the economy is around America's 250th birthday bash. But real quick, let's tell folks about Invista Advisors. Like, you can help folks out, but you're just one team member as far as the whole team goes, creating a financial plan for clients.
Absolutely. We have a huge team here at Invista Advisors, a wide variety of people from planners to accountants to portfolio managers, and anything in the realm of finance that you need help with, whether it be setting a retirement plan or putting kids through college or buying or selling a business or buying your first home. These are all things that we can help you map out. And so if you've got any types of those questions or concerns, give us a call. We'd love the opportunity for our experts here to help you out.
Folks, that number for Invista Advisors, 387-0094. And when you call them at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard of that Austin Baranko guy on Joey Clark's show. I want to see what y'all can do for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Joey, and y'all have a great day.
You too. Appreciate it, Austin. Again, folks, that's Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it has been.
Hey, has been. How you doing?
Good. Going along with today's topic, probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we wouldn't have a chance to do this with woke cancer culture and all. But it's time for a national conversation to start, and just using Montgomery as a base. This country has a severe problem with young black males and crime in this country. And for years, you couldn't say anything. You were an automatic racist. But there's root issues there that I think need to be looked at, and we need to start working on this because it is dragging this country down severely.
It is a very real issue, and it creates mayhem in the black community. It then brushes over into incidents like we've seen, and a lot of folks want to say, well, we didn't spend enough on schools and we didn't spend enough on healthcare and there's not enough opportunity. And you take that whole, like, we must make the entire world and system better in order to teach these kids how to behave. And it's like, no, that just seems really off. I think it begins with male mentors, ideally fathers, but it doesn't have to be fathers, male role models. That's what young boys in particular respond to. You can lecture them, you can do as much interventions as you want until they kind of see another fella that they respect and they can model their behavior after that guy. I don't know what you do.
Right. Well, in the black culture now, success is worshipped, and unfortunately, you're either a rapper or a some kind of athlete, and the doctors, the lawyers, the plumbers, the machinists, they're not looked as successful, and just that whole mindset. I mean, you listen to a rap song for 5 seconds and you're like, oh my God, what in the hell is wrong with these people that you think violence is always the go-to? It's always the go-to.
Oh yeah, and it's the, let's say, the fruits of success. They want the wealth, they want the glitz and glam of it, but the means of getting it seems to be sometimes thrown out the window. If you're talented enough to make music or to play sports, God love you, but that's not most folks. And I know the good news is, like, I know for a fact here in Montgomery, there's a massive black middle class of professionals and so many folks. It's just that there is this underlying, I would call it subculture, that embraces all this stuff you just described. And it's not like they're happy about it. It's just kind of the world they're in. My read on it is a lot of these kids just feel like this is what I was born into. It's what I'm going to be. And you got to get young. And again, you got to have those role models early. And then also deterrence goes a long way. If we actually had a justice system that put the fear of God into people, that might also help a bit.
That's true. But then, you get, don't forget the mayor's remark a few weeks ago about Alabama was building this big $1 billion prison just to lock up the young black boys. And he used that term, not me. And that's wrong. That is wrong. First off, we've got to recognize it and admit it. It's no shame. It's just something that has evolved in culture, and it's got to be. There's better ways. There's better ways to live than just surviving from day to day, from hour to hour, and constantly worried about someone's gonna disrespect you, so I got to shoot him before he disrespects me. That is dragging us all down, and at some point, and this will happen. At some point, the pendulum will swing so far to one side that it'll be bad for everybody. When you look a few years back when the lady from Raymer was shot here on Atlanta Highway, what happened the next few months? The city council meetings were packed with people in there saying, "No, we're not putting up with this crap. You're going to do something." But before that, when it was black on black crime, nobody gives a damn. And that's what just drives me as a white person. I do not understand why black on black crime is so accepted as a way of life, but that's just ridiculous. And I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and I think some of it is it goes counter to particular political narratives, but then some of it's a tough problem to solve. Like raising one kid's tough enough. Like I got to raise these kids that aren't even mine. Like, so it's something that has to start and be a true generational change. If it starts tomorrow, good. Should have started yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'll be the first to tell you, I was married a long time. I never had any kids, so I'm an expert at raising kids, so I don't have any.
Well, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, have a good one.
272-9228. 334-272-9228. I mean, one thing I don't like in general, and I don't like it when it's a radical black politics, and I don't like it as it's developing online right now, where it's like, white racial resentment. Now, a lot of people predicted this. I mean, I can remember listening to Glenn Lowry back in 2020, economist, black conservative professor. You even don't want to say all the stuff he's done and written about. He was a liberal for some years. He's gone back and forth. I'll put it that way. Interesting political journey in life in general. But Lowry predicted this, saying that this sort of woke stuff is going to create a racial resentment in the opposite direction. I think resentment in general is bad. Collectivist, in particular, racial resentment's really bad. Because instead of thinking about these things practically, like I said in the beginning of the show, at the local level, what can we do practically across the board, from what we do with our police, what we do with the law in the first place, what we do with our police, what we do with our policy around bail, what discretion, how are the judges using their discretion? What is the state of our prisons and our jails? What is the state of mental health care services? What is the state of our ability to rehabilitate people that are truly repentant and do want to change? And what I worry about is instead of looking at, say, practical solutions, sometimes we get caught up in the back and forth that is just resentment on top of resentment, and resentment tends to lead people to believing they have a blank check to do awful things themselves. It's not a good look. And it can tear a society apart, just like envy tore apart. It's one of the earliest human stories right there in the Bible, Cain and Abel. It's real awful when it starts becoming groups resenting one another, not just individuals. So I think what has been said is true. I think for the longest time, I haven't looked at the stats lately, maybe this is outdated, but the number one threat to a young white guy like threat to like he might die were car accident. The number one threat to young black men was being killed at the hands of another young black man. Is that a reflection on the entire community, if you want to? Of course not. The point is, this is an issue. We should be able to talk about it honestly. And somehow pray to God that we don't fall into the resentment, the collectivist racial resentment that has torn up many a society throughout history. A lot of it is just common sense, practical solutions, looking at unpleasant facts and problems in a clear-eyed way. And then having the will, the willingness, just the ability to do something about it. In 272-9228, let's go to, who's been waiting longer? Line 1, you're on there. Is this?
This is Edward.
Yeah, Edward, how you doing?
I'm better than I deserve. That first hour was a little deep there, Mr. Clark.
Well, when I'm by myself, I blame Eddie and I blame Troy. They both texted me at the same time saying they can't come in today. Like they got other things.
They're leaving you solo.
And when I get my own thoughts, I'm giving you all a glimpse. Just a glimpse.
I got something I want to ask you. It's unfortunately disheartening. I know that you stay in touch with 1819 News. Have you heard any more information about the child and animal rapes that happened in Brent? I know they had indictments against several people, but I've been curious if they've identified more victims or particularly if they have found more perpetrators that committed those vile acts. I've tried searching 1819 News, and I'll be honest, their search feature, I'd rather self-flagellate. it is really, really tough. So,
that's a fair critique. I've tried to do that myself. You're right.
Yeah.
You're talking about that awful like dungeon, like the abuse of kids there?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything since about a month or so ago when we first talked about it. When the
that's the newest stuff I'm finding from Googling. So, all right. Well, I thought I would reach out to you. Sorry to put another bug bad of something horrible happening out there, but
it's all right.
I was just curious.
It's just the nature of the world and the news sometimes. But I appreciate you asking.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
You're welcome, brother. Have care.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Hello, anybody there?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Joey, this is Elle. I had emailed you about a year ago about being attacked in Montgomery.
Okay.
I just wanted to let people know that things are happening in Montgomery that are never even getting reported.
Kim, for folks who don't know your story, can you describe what happened?
Yeah, I was a social worker working 33 years on the job. I was attacked in broad daylight by a homeless man who almost killed me. He would have killed me, but a man came and saved me. And I had to lose my career. I have a brain injury. I have multiple physical injuries, mental injuries. And the Montgomery Police Department, I think I had to call them 3 or 4 times before they even came. Luckily, they were able to find the man, and then they would not arrest him until they saw the footage from the local store. And they did arrest him, but because he had 5 warrants on him for trespassing, the next morning in court, they let him plead guilty to trespassing, and my felony assault warrant was thrown out.
Wow.
And, I tell everybody I see, especially females, about this, and a lot of young females are like, oh, okay. Some of them roll their eyes. But if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone.
It can. And
when I saw this happening in North Carolina and in Auburn, this was really the first time I shed any tears, because that could have been me.
Oh, wow.
That could be our daughters. I'm 57 years old. That could have been me. And people need to realize there's a lot going on in Montgomery. They're not even reporting I never had WSFA or anybody else call me to get my story. My husband sent emails to every politician in the area, and only Kay Ivey had one of her assistants call us. People, people just need to realize this is happening.
Can happen right in your own backyard when you least expect it.
Oh yeah, and it was at 12:36 in the early, lunchtime, broad daylight. And this guy who beat me up, of course, he's been in and out of jail probably about 10 times since then. He needs to be in prison, but they're not keeping him.
We need to reopen the mental health. Am I hearing a gentleman on the line to reopen the mental health institutions?
Yeah, that's my husband. And
He's
actually,
right.
I was in that field. I'm not gonna give you any more information because this whole process was brutal. My company that I worked for 33 years, they refused to take my phone calls. They treated me like I was the one who assaulted someone. It's been bad, but I'm in a better place now. We left Montgomery County. We live kind of close to Eddie.
I'm sorry.
But well, we haven't run into him yet, but I just, people need to realize this stuff does happen. It's not just on TV. It's not just in the movies. It really happens. And, it's almost 2.5 years later, and I probably wake up every morning with some new pain from that assault.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I appreciate you calling and reminding me and telling your story. I hate that, the tears fell as you see all this stuff break in the national news. It's awful.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It could be anybody.
Anyone. Well, God was on my side that day. He sent a guardian angel who was also a homeless man who saved me. He was the only one who came and saved me. And I will forever be indebted to him.
Yeah, there are good ones all over this world when you least expect it in the midst of all the bad. So I appreciate the call. I really do. And thank you for reminding me.
Thank you, Joey. Okay. Stay blessed.
You too. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. And it's the, I think the stories, the crime stories that really get people going the most. And there are a lot of them out there. I'm not saying because I'm ranking these and people's outrage, that the ones that people don't get as outraged about aren't tragedies and aren't awful too. But there's something about people going to generally areas that are everybody occupies, a lot of foot traffic. You don't think much. I'm on the metro train, or I'm on the walking around in a park, or I'm just hanging out on Atlanta highway, or and you just get randomly assaulted, randomly stabbed, randomly attacked. It's a tragedy when you see so-and-so shot so-and-so and they knew each other. Whether it's a domestic violence dispute or something on the street. And those shouldn't happen either. But I think folks put that in a certain box of, okay, these are folks who chose a certain lifestyle. They shouldn't have. I wish they had not made those choices. But if you dance with the devil, sometimes it gets you. The ones that really, I think, make people go, oh my God, is when you're not dancing with the devil at all and he gets you all the same. It's real. Evil is real. And though I hope we avoid some of the worst reactions to this, resentment is it's a hell of a thing when it starts to run through a population. Maybe we're already too late. And as much as I hope we don't go in that direction, instead, I really am praying we actually start upping our game across the board, especially locally. The feds want to help, so be it. But this is only going to be lasting and sustaining if more and more vigilance is had by local leaders. In 272-9228, if you want to get in on the conversation. This entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out if you're looking to buy a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. They love helping out folks that are doing this for the first time because they like walking with you, guiding you through the process, and they're going to get you the best possible deal there at Alabama Home Mortgage. It could be you're just thinking about it, thinking about buying a home, but you're not really sure. You've kind of been looking online at different listings and stuff. Stop. Go ahead and call them up at Alabama Home Mortgage and get pre-approved. That way, if you really want to pull the trigger, you're already golden. You're already set. You've already gone through the first step. Then after that, they will walk with you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. And they're going to get you that great deal. Of course, they can also help you with a great refinance deal, maybe to get credit card debt off your back, or maybe you took out a second mortgage. Could be you just want to restructure your finances in general, reinvest in your property, your family, yourself. Whatever your goals, they can help you with that great refinance deal as well. Check out Alabama Home Mortgage. That number, 567-4223. Just call them up at 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hey, this is Randy with Super Pawn Center on Burbank Drive. When we advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, we get results. Spend your money where it counts. Blue Water Broadcasting.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Tired of surprise pest problems and surprise bills? Pest Pro Services now offers subscription pest control, a simple, affordable way to protect your home year-round. Bundle pest protection, termite treatment, and mosquito control for one predictable monthly price. Great for budgeting. No stress, no pests. Locally owned, always reliable, Pest Pro is Central Alabama's trusted pest control team. Find them on Facebook or visit ppsriverregion.com. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing.
If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Clear sailing this week with a forecast that is very tolerable as far as humidity and pleasantly cool at night. Today, lots of sunshine, dry, comfortable humidity, high temperature in the middle 80s with mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature, I've got us down around 66. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, more sun, a dry forecast. 86 tomorrow, 89 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, but the humidity under control, 60s at night, and dry through Saturday. From the National Weather Association Conference in Huntsville, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Mark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right.
So I'm kind of piggybacking off that lady's story. Something very similar happened to me at Lowe's in Montgomery.
Okay.
About 3 years ago, the day after they legalized panhandling, I had a guy come out. I had a bunch of materials put in my truck. And the guy walked up and said, "Hey man, give me your money." And I said, "I'm sorry, what?" He said, "Give me your money." And I said, "We're good, man. Take off." He takes off his backpack, pulls off his shirt, and by this time I've already made it to my front door, and I opened it up. I said, "Do you really want to go down that road?" And he took off. But he went inside of Lowe's. There was a young mother, had a baby in the buggy, was walking around. And he's yelling and cussing and screaming at her. And I said, "You know what? This ends now." And I walked up, "Hey, you remember me?" And he takes off running out of the store. And I walked her to her car, and I said, "Look, anything like that happens, you get to the first guy you can find immediately." But, yeah, that stuff goes on all the time in Montgomery. I could give you dozens of stories from my guys that had similar situations.
Yeah, and I've had people, and you were that woman's guardian angel that day. Thank you for being a man there. I've had...
It been my wife. My wife had been dead.
Right. I've had people approach me, sometimes aggressive, sometimes it's just like, "Hey, I don't have any money," and they walk away. But it does happen quite a lot. And it's almost like people have shifts at the interstate exits. It's just, and most of the time it doesn't bother me, but I do have that intrusive thought of like, okay, is this guy who's looked like he's been in the sun too long going to, approach my car, approach the door? Like, you got to have that kind of in the back of your head. What you going to do?
Oh, look at South Boulevard down there close to Baptist South. There's a guy that's there every day, and he steps out into traffic while they're oncoming. And I guarantee you, he's going to get hit or cause a wreck soon.
Yep. Yeah, and like, I don't know why we're tolerating this. It's not out of control in the way other cities are. We should have the person that'll deal with this. I know they came up with something of like, send money to this nonprofit and we'll get the homeless off the streets. I haven't seen a lot of the progress with that, but yeah, and it's a matter of just kind of standing your ground. And it's nice when individuals do it, but you need the authority to sort of give that extra emphasis of, we're not doing this around these parts.
Well, I mean, I even called the police to report what was going on. Nobody showed up.
Yeah, and you said this was 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how long ago, but I remember the day they legalized panhandling in Montgomery again is the day it happened.
Wow.
It was like they were waiting on the decision to be made to start panhandling, harassing people.
Well, at this point, I think what Montgomery needs to do, Montgomery, I think, is a little easier than Birmingham, but welcome in the state, welcome in the feds, welcome in the county, do all of the above approach. We're going to work together. We don't care who gets credit. We're going to stop this stuff. And if that's not the mentality, I don't know what our leaders are even thinking.
Bring the National Guard.
If necessary, absolutely. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate you sharing that.
All right. Bye-bye.
Again, 272-9228. A lot of folks, it's amazing when you see this national story. There are a lot of folks like, oh, yeah. It does happen in our own backyard. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and they're at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and the great team are ready to help you with that roof of yours. Now, it could be you know you have a problem. Of course, River Region Contracting can fix it. Or it could be you just haven't had your roof inspected in a while. Well, like asphalt and metal roofs should be inspected every 3 to 5 years for preventative maintenance. But you might want to get an inspection done more often than that. Why not do it every year? Do an annual inspection. And here's the great news. Their inspections are always free there at River Region Contracting. Those inspections are part of that basic preventative maintenance you need to do to catch problems early or to just give you that peace of mind that you don't have any issues. And if they do find an issue, that estimate, they'll write up an estimate for free. And they're a team of insurance specialists there at River Region Contracting. So if they find a problem with your roof that the insurance company might pay for, they can walk you through the claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. So check them out today. Again, that's Todd Clark and the great team there at River Region Contracting. 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
It's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've got a story for you, too. It's not as bad as some of the others, but the other day I was at on Congressman Dickinson, right there at Crestview, and a lady was trying to turn, and she didn't wait for the red light to change and clipped my truck. When I yelled at her, why couldn't you wait for the light to change? She took off.
Oh, damn.
And I chased her, but I never did catch her. And it took over an hour for the police to finally get out there just to do a daggone report.
Yeah. And
so, yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. And like it gets down to some basic stuff like traffic enforcement, or if there are wrecks, how quick is the response? And I think there are folks going around saying, yeah, I can get away with it just fine. I don't have to.
She got away with it. Unfortunately, it didn't do no damage to my truck. It sent a little place on it, but it bent her door.
Daggone.
And somewhere in Montgomery, that car is around. I'm going to see it again. And when I do, I'm going to make a picture of the tag number and everything. And then I'm going to go file a felony hit and run warrant on it.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'll share a story of mine. Last time I got in a wreck wasn't my fault. Somebody who couldn't see kept on coming down Harrison Road as I'm coming out of the neighborhood there in Forest Hills. I think I'm about to get T-boned. He luckily hits the brakes last second. I turn the car and he smashes the front driver's side corner of my vehicle. And I'm like, oh crap. Really? This is about also like 11:15. I got to be on air at noon. I'm like, damn, I realize it's an old man. And I go from angry to like, you okay? And then I was lucky enough where that old man's son is a manager at a body shop. They took care of it in like 5 minutes. And I got on air. So sometimes you get lucky with the car wreck. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate it didn't damage my truck, but I was angry because she didn't stop.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Probably no driver's license, probably no insurance, probably had drugs in the car.
Well, and there's sometimes I try to avoid rush hour on purpose, get the workout early, stay here a little later, so I miss the 3 o'clock traffic. But if you do it rush hour, there are some people in this city just don't know how to drive. Just no
Well,
training.
this wasn't even rush hour. This was I had gone to take some fabrics over to office work for Mrs. Kiesel, and I was coming back, and the right lane was closed. I was in the left lane. The light was red. One car eased by me before I got up, further up, and then she decided she was going to ease by me. And when she hit my truck, instead of taking responsibility, she drove off.
Yep. And that's
And she was running stop signs and everything else, me trying to catch her.
wrong mentality.
I didn't run no stop signs. I was hoping she'd get seafoam.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that one with me.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Got to hit this break. Hopefully we'll have Michael Cohen on the other side.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. For over 21 years, Blue Water Broadcasting has been a proud part of the River region. We're not just a company, we're your neighbors. Our owners, air staff, account executives, and support team all live right here. We believe in this community, and we stand by our slogan, Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Jenny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Jenny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Jenny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JennyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JennyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Actually, I'm pretty good personally. I'm going to try to figure out a way to share that story to share with you in a clean way on the air next hour, I think.
Yeah, it won't be near as fun.
So how's it going there today at Cohen's?
Everything is going wonderful here.
It's good to be back at work. Last week in Denver, seeing a lot of cool stuff. It's always good to be back home, though.
And what's the score there today? Who you been helping out?
The score today is 24-0. Had Michael Jackson going out. He's been doing some installing and taking care of some customers that have tried to go a different route, but they still ended up having to call us to come kind of bail them out of the mess that they got into. And that's what we try to do is we try to steer everybody right, and Michael Jackson does a great install job, and it's all a whole big system of trying to take care of the customer and make sure everything gets handled the way it's supposed to.
But y'all do it well. I know firsthand. A lot of my family members know firsthand. A lot of folks around the area. Folks, you got to get by Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Of course, you can shop from home, view what they got at thinkcohens.com. But I encourage you, stop by in person. 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And now that Michael's back in town, find him over there and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with that Joey Clark guy.
That's right, Joey Clark. He knew. Take some pictures of your area you're trying to upgrade. Get some questions, and then come see us. Let us ask you some questions. Let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Again, that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Always great having him on the program. Really great sponsor here of the show. It's nice having a small business sponsor of the show that's truly an institution here in Montgomery. 60 plus years. No, I'm getting to the age now where if you double it, I'm like 70 something. So it's not quite double my age, but close. So coming up, before everything got like crazy about, especially this Charlotte, North Carolina video, I'll admit, I couldn't watch the full video. Like I saw the ones where they paused it and they skipped ahead to after the demonic deed was done. But I'm in that camp of some things I don't want in my mind. Some things I don't want to see. So before we got into all that, as well as the awful story out of Auburn, Alabama, I was looking at the president and the vice president over the weekend. And I'm sure Hegseth's jumping in on this. And now apparently Scott Bessent, don't mess with him. We got a bunch of potty mouths up there in Washington, D.C. But it might just be that even though they're still politicians and even though you like them, they're full of BS, that sort of the unvarnished, plain and simple BS might be a turn towards honesty. It might be what the people are now demanding. We don't want your little political euphemisms. We don't want you potpourriing the smell of the crap you're saying. Just say the crap. We'll take a whiff. We'll tell you whether we like it or not. And honestly, we kind of like it when you're just up front with it, when you're crass about it, even vulgar at times. I'll tell you what I mean. Coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Jury selection underway in the trial of a man charged with trying to assassinate Donald Trump while he played golf last year in South Florida. Texas authorities searching for a suspect after a weekend bar shooting left one person dead and 5 others wounded. The Liberty County Sheriff's Office says the suspect opened fire early Sunday at the Alas Locust restaurant and sports bar near Cleveland, Texas. Forecasters say the risk of direct impacts from Hurricane Kiko have decreased. Kiko is showing signs that it would pass to the north of the Hawaiian Islands, the system weakening to a Category 1 hurricane and is expected to lose more intensity throughout the day. Forecasters warn of possible life-threatening surf and rip currents, however. This is SRN News.
Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show here. Everything's getting more expensive these days, groceries to gas, healthcare. If you're feeling that squeeze, you're not alone. Listen, your biggest asset might just be the answer, your home. That's why I strongly recommend my good friends at Fellowship Home Loans. Mike and Brian and the team have helped so many families, especially in times like these, tap into their home's equity to keep their head above water, whether it's covering rising medical costs, helping out a loved one, or just breathing room in your monthly budget. They can help. You see, you're not giving up. You're just getting smart, because at the end of the day, it's about protecting your family and your future. Make sure you ask how you can skip 2 mortgage payments when you refinance. 2. Going into the fall and the holidays, that could really be helpful, right? Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. It's Fellowship Home Loans. Fellowship Home Loans. Mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, equal housing lender, NMLS number 8193.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Clear sailing this week with a forecast that is very tolerable as far as humidity and pleasantly cool at night. Today, lots of sunshine, dry, comfortable humidity, high temperature in the middle 80s with mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature, I've got us down around 66. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, more sun, a dry forecast. 86 tomorrow, 89 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, but the humidity under control. 60s at night, and dry through Saturday. From the National Weather Association Conference in Huntsville, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
1819 News. Miss Alabama Emmett Terry of Leeds placed 4th runner-up in Sunday night's Miss America competition. The UAB accounting graduate was also recognized for her community work, stomping out ALS one step at a time, launched in honor of her late grandfather. Miss New York Cassie Donegan claimed the crown, succeeding Abby Stockard of Vestavia Hills. After 8 months traveling as Miss America, Stockard has returned to Auburn University, where she's studying nursing and performing with the Tiger Paws dance team. This year's Miss America pageant, held in Orlando, carried the theme World Tour. I'll be back with more Alabama news after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org. That's ATEASE.org.
In Hoover, Mayor-elect Nick Dervis is preparing to take office after defeating incumbent Frank Braccato with 56% of the vote. Dervis, who served as police chief for 20 years, says the support he's seen shows residents wanted change. His transition team, led by Michael Davis and B.J. Ellis, has already begun meeting with committees focused on education, public safety, growth, and fiscal accountability. Derza says transparency will be a top priority as he supports a state audit of city's finances. Derza will be sworn in on November 3rd. I'm Garrison Hardy. For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store. When your feet aren't properly supported, it can affect your whole body, your back, your ankles. You might be thinking there's no way something as simple as Good Feet arch supports can help me. Well, that's exactly what Bill thought.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Visit the Good Feet Store for a free fitting and test walk. If you want to live free from pain, come visit the Good Feet store and take the first step towards a more comfortable, healthier you. Wendy's experience might inspire you too.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Clark.
Welcome back. Now, before I jump into the potty mouths occupying the White House and how that might be actually refreshingly honest to have such vulgar language used by such high-up officials. Erica Thomas has a write-up at 1819 News that just came out saying the suspect in the murder of the retired Auburn University professor Julie Gard had previous charges in Virginia. According to court documents, Harold Dabney III from Montgomery now resides in Auburn, according to newly filed court documents. This is not Dabney's first run-in with the law. Jail records show Dabney was arrested in Virginia Beach, Virginia in 2023 and charged with possession of a sawed-off shotgun. Of course, for this death, he's charged with 2 counts of capital murder, 1 count of murder during a robbery, and 1 count of murder during a kidnapping. Dabney is accused of stealing a red Ford F-150 and fleeing the scene. According to court documents, Dabney's father was also no stranger to law enforcement. Harold Dabney Jr. was arrested multiple times for crimes ranging from drug trafficking to robbery. His parents divorced when he was only 4 years old, and his father was arrested multiple times for not paying child support. According to the Alabama Secretary of State's website, Harold Dabney III formed a company last year called Excellent Carriage LLC, although there is no evidence that the business was ever in operation. Dabney is considered innocent until proven guilty. Until proven guilty. Wonder how long that'll take. But on to the potty mouths in the White House. Because it's not just Trump dropping the F-bomb. They don't know what the F they're doing. When he was trying to make the ceasefire hold between Israel and Iran. It's not just Trump dropping a BS here or there. It's not just J.D. Vance saying, I don't give a crap what you think about our strikes against these Venezuelan narco-terrorists. S-bombs, F-bombs, more and more, the president and the vice president are dropping dirty language in a way that I actually find refreshingly honest. But they're not the only ones. There was last week a Wednesday evening event that was supposed to be one of celebration for the Trump administration. It was both the much anticipated inaugural dinner at Executive Branch, the ultra exclusive Georgetown Club created by and for the Trump world's uber rich, and a birthday party for MAGA-friendly podcaster Chamath Palihapitiya or something like that. Well, you know Chamath from the online podcast. A long table for the 30-some guests was set with top-of-the-line crystal and china. The guest list included Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Small Business Administrator Kelly Loeffler, Medicare and Medicaid Chief Mehmet Oz, plus venture capitalist David Sachs, who's Chamath's partner on the All In podcast. But amid the cocktail hour din, Bessent lashed out at Pulte. Who is Pulte? Bill Pulte. He lashed out at Bill Pulte in an expletive-laden diatribe. Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, had heard from several people that the Federal Housing Finance Agency director had been bad-mouthing him to Trump, a person close to him said. He wasn't about to engage in chit-chat, as if nothing was amiss. So picture the scene, 30-something people all around this table. We're celebrating Chamath's birthday. Yay, Chamath. And everybody's getting around in this posh place, talking, and all of a sudden, Bessent comes across Pulte. It's like Seinfeld with Newman. And instead of chit-chat, Bessent reportedly says, "Why the F are you talking to the president about me? F you. I'm going to punch you in your effing face." Now, I always thought Bessent was more the soft-spoken, like, nerd or wonk, but the scene was described by one eyewitness and 4 other people familiar with what happened. This reporter, I think Rachel Bay to Politico, wrote this. The only fact they disagreed on was whether it was Bessent or Pulte who initiated the conversation. They and others who described the conflict were granted anonymity due to the sensitivity of the situation. Pulte appeared stunned, and the tense encounter prompted club owner and financier Omid to intervene, according to the 3 people. But Bessent wasn't having it. He sought to get Pulte kicked out, the eyewitness said. "It's either me or him," Bessent told Omid. "You tell me who's getting the F out of here." Or, Bessent added, "we could go outside." "To do what?" asked Pulte. "To talk?" "No," Bessent replied. "I'm going to effing beat your ass." Seeking to de-escalate the situation, Omid separated the men, walking Bessent to another part of the club to calm down. During the seat at dinner, Bessent and Pulte were placed at opposite ends of the table, and the party went on without further episode. Bessent, Pulte, Omid, and the White House all declined to comment. Confrontation, which one Trump insider called bonkers and another called unhinged, underscores the surprising tensions between top Trump officials tasked with working on the nation's most sensitive economic matters. Trump announced in May that Bessent, Lutnick, and Pulte would collaborate on a plan to privatize Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the federal housing finance organs Pulte oversees. In recent weeks, Pulte has taken the lead on an initiative that could put as much as 15% of Fannie and Freddie on the public markets. But behind the scenes, the 2 men have clashed in something of a turf war over the mortgage giants, as well as other economic matters, 4 Trump insiders tell the reporter. Bessent believes, some of the people familiar with the conflict say, that Pulte has inserted himself into matters the secretary views as his jurisdiction. Pulte, they add, has bristled at the threat of being big-footed. Complicating the entire dynamic, according to Trump administration allies closely following the drama, is Pulte's close ties to Howard Lutnick. The Commerce Secretary and Scott Bessent have had a rocky relationship since the transition when the 2 men competed for the Treasury position. This has injected significant distrust into anything the trio work on together. It was why Bessent, who feels he doesn't have time for drama and backbiting given his massive portfolio, according to the person close to him, hit the roof when he saw Pulte Wednesday at the party. Both men enjoy a close relationship with Trump and are known within the president's orbit to openly jockey for influence and power, albeit in different ways. And this isn't the only time Bessent apparently can get a little feisty. In April, apparently Bessent confronted Elon Musk just outside the Oval Office, accusing Musk, then running Doge, in a profanity-laden tirade of going behind his back to secure his chosen candidate, Gary Shapley, as acting IRS commissioner. Some suspect Bessent actually reared back and punched Elon. Bessent was pushing for another man, Deputy Treasury Secretary Michael Falklander, to get the job. And eventually Bessent got his way. Falklander then left the department late last month after just 5 months on the job. But that's the line from the Treasury Secretary to the head of Federal Housing Assistance. Why the F are you talking to the president about me? F you, I'm gonna punch you in your effing face. But, you know, it's leadership from the top. A little salty language, especially amongst fellas. At a high level, it's not anything that crazy. And it could be, folks, that there's something refreshing about all this vulgarity. And that this is something that Trump has jumped into more and more, embraced more and more. It's not like he's cursing like a sailor or a longshoreman or whatever, whoever curses a lot. Me when I'm off air. But like, it's not like Trump curses all the time. He picks his spots. Same thing you see with the vice president. Sometimes they do it in public, dropping the F-bomb, dropping the S-bomb for emphasis, to get everybody's attention. So let's go way back. Classic essay for anybody who likes political theory and likes politics in general, called Politics in the English Language by George Orwell. In part, Orwell writes in this essay, the word fascism has now no meaning except insofar as it signifies something not desirable. The words democracy, socialism, freedom, patriotic, realistic, justice have each of them several different meanings which cannot be reconciled with one another. Words of this kind are often used in a consciously dishonest way. That is, the person who uses them has his own private definition, but allows his hearer to think he means something quite different. Now, if euphemism is saying a nasty thing in a nice way, President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance are probably the most honest politicians to occupy the White House in quite some time. Now, that's not to say that they never lie. All political leaders lie, especially the ones you support. Not only does power tempt men to twist their words in a consciously dishonest way, power especially confuses politically charged language in an unconscious way, spreading competing private definitions far and wide, with very few actually intending to lie. But simply, people see what they want to see, hear what they want to hear, and believe what they want to believe when it comes to politics. Despite man's professed fealty to the truth, politics always seems to lead him into hiding some nastiness in a nice way. Well, until now. Political necessity has long seduced men into believing their own euphemisms, and I suspect this will never fully go away. But now, the BS is so pervasive and pungent in American politics that people seem to prefer BS plain and simple rather than BS poorly potpourried by political euphemism. Given the modern prevalence of memes to advance political ideas, like Trump's meme over the weekend, for example, saying, "We're going, I love the smell of war with Chicago." Of course, everybody freaking out and taking that so literally. But memes, as well as the infernal churning of the online deconstruction machine that is social media and generative AI, because of all this churning, private and public definitions alike are chewed up and spat out at a dizzying rate of pace in what seems like a post-truth world hell-bent on rebuilding the Tower of Babel. Yet, despite the growing confusion of this new world, I mean, is that video real? Are those words real? Am I even talking to a real person? Like, we are entering into a strange area of confusion. But despite this confusion, the truth is still there. Man's conscience is still alive, in some of us. And even the worst political liars still wish to believe they are on the right side of history. Nobody thinks they're actually evil. Everybody thinks they're always on the side of the good. History continues step by step with the story spun true, not by what men cleverly say, especially in a political situation, by what they inevitably do. It's not what men say, it's what they do. That's where the truth lies. But in post-persuasion America, actions speak louder than words. Words are used by men of actions, like Donald Trump, not to debate or beguile necessarily, but to motivate and mobilize the faithful around decisions that have already been made behind the scenes and in the people's hearts. Perhaps political euphemism is subsiding in favor of vulgar, vile, rude, boorish, and blunt language to provide emphasis and exclamation to political action. Pathos over logos, mythos over ethos. That is to say, emotion over logic, narrative over credibility. The strong gods, they're returning. I suspect politics will remain fundamentally the art and science of administering force and fraud, but the necessity of dressing up the force and fraud and high ideals will diminish in favor of emotional, if not mythical, expressions of common sense and self-evident necessity, though common sense and self-evident could be used as euphemisms themselves. Yeah, I abused my power. It was just common sense. Politics in post-persuasion America may not become more honest at bottom, but political language just might, as people demand BS plain and simple without the potpourri. Indeed, there's something refreshingly honest about Trump and Vance's willingness to say a nasty thing in a nasty way. From Trump dropping an F-bomb in the midst of geopolitical mayhem to end the 12-day war between Israel and Iran, to Vance saying, I don't give a crap what you call it, in response to criticism of the administration's recent killing of Venezuelan narco-terrorists being called war crimes. Ugly expressions about ugly actions on the ugly world stage is apparently all the rage. Even Democrats, from Gavin Newsom to Jasmine Crockett, are trying to get in on the vulgar emotivism. But they don't do it quite as well as Trump and Vance, I have to admit. Like, how many times did Newsom have to look in the mirror and practice calling Trump a son of a bitch? How many times? Because it doesn't just roll off his tongue. Everything's contrived about that psychopath. Truly American psycho. Like, if you're going to call somebody an SOB, it should just kind of roll off naturally. You can tell he's workshopped this stuff. Jasmine Crockett, my God, the performance she's putting on. Everybody's trying to get in on this action. They see which way the cat's jumping. But another nod to the waning of political euphemism in American politics is the recent renaming of the Department of Defense back to the Department of War, with Secretary Pete Hegseth now taking on the title Secretary of War. The Department of Defense was always one of America's greatest euphemistic flourishes since its inception in 1949, unless one wishes to believe America only participated in defensive wars in the last 7 decades. Yeah, sure. That said, the decline of political euphemism and the rise of vulgarity didn't begin with Trump and Vance. For instance, George Carlin saw through to the heart of the matter in his joke about American BS in Bill Clinton in 1999. I encourage y'all to go check that out. Just look up American BS George Carlin, you'll get the full bit. But to steal Carlin's punchline, imagine two guys watching a Trump and Vance rally. Frustrated by what he's hearing, one guy says to the other, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are full of it. The other guy shrugs and says, well, yeah, but at least they're honest about it. Yes, Trump and Vance may be the most honest politicians to occupy the White House in quite some time. But I'll leave it to you to decide if that's just a nice way for me to say a nasty thing. And I should add to the piece, Scott Bessent, what a potty mouth. The man is ready to fight. Like, don't you be talking about me. In some ways, it's like, well, that's unhinged. That's crazy. But I kind of like the forthrightness of it. Like, sometimes just direct confrontation. This guy's been talking about you, been talking around you, trying to weasel his way into a position to cut you out of the action. So instead of trying to weasel back and play that same game, you just confront him directly. Maybe there's something to that sort of manliness coming from the Treasury Secretary, even though the potty mouths seem all the rage these days. It is a little surprising. I admit I like it. But at the end of the day, even if Trump drops an F-bomb and Vance drops an S-bomb and Bessent drops an S-bomb and an F-bomb, how honest is our politics even at the end of the day? It's, slightly more honest. I think Department of War is a little more honest than Department of Defense, but I think we're still going to get BS. But maybe we are satisfied with it being straight up, plain and simple, not potpourried by soft, sensitive, idealistic language. Anyway, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. And I could tell you what, I lately I've been hungry. I could eat a whole rack of ribs right now, and fried okra, and some mac and cheese. I would love to get that baked potato, throw some brisket on top of it, or what Troy Carrico did the other day. He went by for breakfast there at Smokehouse, ended up getting brisket on his cheese grits. The man's a genius. Folks, whether you're looking for breakfast or a great spot for lunch, they do a meat and 3 daily lunch special for only $12.95. Your choice of 1 meat, 3 sides, and corn muffins just included, as well as desserts you can get on the go. So whether you're looking to do takeout or you want to dine in, they do breakfast starting at 6:30. This is Tuesday through Sunday. And then on the weekends, they're going to have a place opened up, the bar, live entertainment. Get yourself an adult libation, enjoy the live entertainment. Get yourself a big old pulled pork sandwich or some pulled chicken, whatever your heart desires over there. And the beautiful thing is they're back to the original recipe. So get by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Same location as always, Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to tell Chris, Celeste, the whole team there, that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Joey. How you, sir?
I'm all right, Duke. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. I was told that Bama was back in football, man. They was back because they put up 73 on a poop butt team. They say they back
About because they whooped Louisiana Monroe.
a poop butt team.
Yeah. I heard Mike Tyson beat up a middle schooler. He's back, baby.
Yeah. But Joey, have you talked about the job numbers for this month? Yeah.
I talked about it last week. Yeah.
I'm talking about the new job report that came out.
Yeah, it came out on Friday. I talked about it. It was low. It was like 22,000. Yeah.
Yeah, low again.
Yeah, very low.
Did he fire anybody this time, or I just checking on that part? That's what I was trying to get at, you know.
I have their spin to it. I mean, I think they have some points. The main one is they want interest rates lowered by the Fed. But the other point they're making is if you look at just American-born. You okay?
This damn car like you wanted to completely stop in the road.
Man, people can't drive in this city. I've started to notice, dude.
Hey, he just called you riding a little Mercedes. He got, I think he's from Auburn County somewhere. He drive out of Mercedes. I brought over there in this truck.
But like, if you look at under the hood of the jobs numbers, what's essentially happened over the last, say, 6-8 months has been there has been an increase in about 600,000 American-born, like native-born Americans. There's been an increase of 600,000. And then it's been kind of also a decrease of about 600,000 of foreign-born jobs. So what we're seeing is makes sense with the immigration crackdown. I don't expect any sort of boom at this point. What they're going to need the big, nice jobs numbers in July of next year.
And I'm quite sure nothing going up in the stores or nothing like that. Going up anymore. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, it depends on the product and industry. I think retail, some consumers are going to feel it on certain retail stores. Yeah.
Joey, this president promised us that from day one, everything going to be cheap. You can go out and buy bundles and bundles of stuff and just store it in the house because it'll be so cheap. Not happening, Joey. Nah.
Yeah, it hadn't happened as much as I would like.
I went in, I'm always in Home Depot and Lowe's. This girl, she changed the damn sticker on the thing again and said, going up some more, Joey.
Yeah.
Mr. President needs to fix some of this stuff, man. Hey, all the stuff he's doing, always picking on the Mexicans and the blacks, as he say.
Oh,
he needs to
blacks,
get some stuff done, man, for us, the working people. And you know what I'm talking about, man. Talk to me, Joe.
I don't think you actually want to talk. I might go all Bessent on you.
Bye.
Catch me outside. All right.
Hey, I can't even get my words out, boy. I'm stuttering. That was a good football game last night, wasn't it?
It was. I actually went to bed and thought the Ravens had it locked up, but apparently the Bills pulled it out.
That Josh Allen something else, boy. That boy, oh man, this boy here.
Good football. It really was a great game last night.
Both teams did well, but defense sucked on both teams, really. They couldn't stop nobody.
Yeah. It's refreshing to have football back on the TV.
Oh yeah, man, it was nice. Yep. Man, I just hollering at you for a minute, man. I just, wondering had Trump fired the whole crew that, job number wasn't to his satisfaction just to go around. I didn't know.
Oh,
I've been in and out. I've been in and out the station today,
Well, and my serious take is they didn't do as much as I would like. I would have wanted to see more of a Javier Milei, what he did in Argentina. I think it's what Elon wanted to do. But Scott Bessent sort of won the argument that we'll do this sort of like slow and steady decrease of the debt and deficit, and we'll slowly decrease the federal government, and we'll raise more revenue with the tariffs. And what I'm waiting on, you've heard me say it, is real wage growth going up for Americans, and is the economy booming? And it needs to happen by the big birthday bash next year.
See, what people got to keep in mind, Joe, see, everybody ain't got money like you and just sit back and wait till things get right like they claim they want to get it. We can't do that. So the cats who eat duck eggs and fish eggs and all this kind of stuff, and you can afford to lose money and pay the high prices for stuff, You can do that, see. You got stuff like that, see, Mr. Joe.
I wish.
You got it like that, though.
Really?
Eddie done told me about you now. He done told on you, buddy, bro. Nah.
Well, I'm starting to sense a little envy. You gonna show up outside with that pitchfork?
Well, that's what I need, man.
I'm just saying, Duke, all you need is a duck egg omelet one time, and you're gonna shut up. And you're gonna be like,
I'm still waiting on my duck eggs.
Actually, they don't sell them over there anymore. I hadn't had those in years.
Well, you need to find us some.
I guess they were importing them, so maybe they weren't that good. I don't know. Goodness gracious. We'll see.
All right, my man.
Thanks, dude.
Bama, y'all ain't back yet. Sit your asses down somewhere. You just a poop butt team still. Nah.
They got Wisconsin next week, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But they be hooping up. That little running back, you saw when he made that touchdown. I got to say this right here. You saw when he made the first touchdown. Oh, he just beating his chest like he did. So like he playing somebody. Man, please sit down, boy.
Or did you see after I guess South Florida upset Florida?
Yeah, man.
The still picture of the two guys wrapped in each other's arms, staring deeply into each other's eyes. That became quite a meme online.
They didn't get crazy like the Obama did though, with the throwing birds on the national TV and all that, did they?
No. It's just I don't know. It is football's very fun with all the memeing and all the online reaction.
Bama the only one to do crazy stuff like that. Them Bama fans, boy, they do some crazy.
Oh, don't get me started.
No, man, I got to catch this call, young man. All right.
Later, Duke. Appreciate you. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Oh, my name is Cameron.
Hey, Cameron,
Have
are
I
you?
called this show
No, not yet.
today?
No, you haven't.
Brother, I just wanted to call and tell you the first thing. Number one, thank you for reading your piece on language in government.
Oh, you're welcome.
I enjoyed what you said. But
Thank you.
Second thing, I want to talk about how proud I am to be in the country and in this state at this time because of how Trump's handling the concept of crime in our beloved cities in our country. On a previous show, you guys gave me a chance to speak to Trump's strategy internationally. You know, he sat down across from Putin and said, I just want you to stop the death.
Yeah.
Same thing to Zelensky. Now he's talking to our, city, saying, I just want you guys to corral crime. I want your citizens to be safe. I want the children to stop dying. And they're left having to stand in the pulpit of what in the world are they going to say? And Trump, what I love about our country is our military men and women are useful resources. And Trump's offering them as assistance. I don't care what the left says. Trump is offering their assistance. Look at the drop in crime when the National Guard was visible on Washington Street.
Oh, absolutely.
Just that, So listen, thanks for letting me talk, and I'm going right back to listening.
Well, thank you, Cameron. And, you know, Trump can be quite a potty mouth, as can J.D. Vance. I don't know if y'all saw that, but somebody accused him, like, on Twitter of saying, well, what y'all did, bombing those 11 narco terrorists from Venezuela in the boat, what y'all did was a war crime. And what we call that a war crime. And J.D. Vance's response was, I don't give a what you call it. I did see that. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
And sometimes the potty mouth stuff, it's maybe doesn't mean like Trump events are always telling the truth, but there's something a little more honest about the just, yeah, okay, we're not going to sit here and argue over a war crime because you're not arguing in good faith.
Right.
Like, we won, we're in power, shut up, I don't care what you call it. It's kind of the mentality. There's something honest about that.
Yeah.
Like, but we must be able to debate everything. It's like, no. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
But as much as they can be potty mouths, Trump and team also have a lighter touch. Here is Trump this morning, where they are calling the entire nation to prayer as we head into America's 250th birthday bash. Let's listen in.
And I began my remarks today by noting that the reverence for our Creator, man, we have reverence for our Creator. It is inscribed into our Declaration of Independence, a copy of which I have very proudly hanging in the Oval Office, an original copy, very old, beautiful copy. Next year, we will celebrate 250 years since that declaration was signed as part of the grand, well, this is really a commemoration like I think we're going to try and do a commemoration like nobody's ever seen before, but we've invited America's great faith communities to pray for our nation and for our people and for peace in the world. And it's going to be an amazing time. We're going to have an amazing time. We have the Olympics, we have the World Cup, and we have 250. Okay. The super centennial, as our Mandarin says. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be maybe bigger than both of those events. You know, when I was president.
And Trump was giving these remarks this morning at the Bible Museum there, I believe, in Washington.
And I got
really cool if you've never been, folks. I've never been, but I've seen like documentaries, people going around the place. Like if you want to get into the textual history of Scripture and the Bible and stuff, it's remarkable what they have there. Really remarkable. But let's keep going with the president.
I got the World Cup. And I got the Olympics. I got them to choose us, Los Angeles. And I was very proud of it. The only problem was I wasn't going to be president because I would have served out normally my time. And then you had some very bad people who rigged an election. And look what happened. I end up getting the Olympics, the World Cup, and 250. It's amazing the way God works, isn't it? It's amazing. Isn't it amazing the way God works? It's true. I got the Olympics, because I'm a little bit of a selfish person. I said, I got the Olympics. And Obama would not call. I'll never forget the head of the Olympic Committee called. And the mayor of Los Angeles called me and he said, sir, the president will not talk to them. You know why? Because he traveled to Geneva or wherever to make the presentation. And he came in fourth. Now, a president shouldn't do that. A president should say, I will do that. I will make that journey, which has never been made before. But if I make that journey, you have to pick me. He didn't do that. That's why we had a country that was going to hell, because he didn't do a lot of things like that. So he ended up sitting there, and they announced that we're fourth. We were like almost last. And so he didn't like the Olympic Committee too much. So he refused to talk to him. So I get a call from the mayor of Los Angeles who said, please, sir, would you call? We're ready to get it. And I spoke to a gentleman, and I believe it was Geneva, wherever they are. And I couldn't get him off the phone. He was so dying for love. He finally got something. Anyway, and he agreed that the Olympics would come to the United States, and I was so proud of it. And then I realized even then, I said, I'm not going to be the president. And then the World Cup, we got the World Cup. I did that one too with Johnny, and got the World Cup, and I said, I can't believe it. Can you hold it a little sooner, sir? It's all given out at all these different places. So I wasn't going to get that either. And now I got them both. And I can't say that I created 250. That one we have. I'd like to say I created 250 years. I can't say that, but we are going to create a great party and a great celebration.
Yeah. And a lot of the focus, though, at this speech he gave at the Museum of the Bible was focused on prayer, and he invited up the Housing and Urban Development Secretary. Gave some pretty great remarks. Actually, we got some time, so let's jump in on that. Do I have it still? Here we are. Sorry, folks, we're coming to the end of the day. A little emotional, everything in the news. Honestly, it's rough. Pamela, did you watch that video of the woman in Charlotte?
No, I read about it. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I saw the edited, like, before the actual act, at like him standing up, but you can see him just randomly take out a pocket knife, open it up, and then all of a sudden, and that's where the video stopped for me. I didn't want to see the actual. It's absolutely insane, absolutely crazy, and the fact that it took social media to actually make this a news story, because all the corporate press did not. This happened a month ago,
right? I know. I saw that too when I saw the date on it, and I was like, I'm just seeing this,
right? Right, and that is that's not just a coincidence. But here is the president with the head of Housing and Urban Development.
Think about this. What if 1 million people prayed for our country every single week between now and next July 4th? More specifically, what if believers all across this great nation got together with 10 people, friends, family members, colleagues, work associates, 10 people each week to pray for our country and for our fellow citizens? Let that sink in. 1 million people every single week, 10 people getting together to pray for our country and for her citizens. Think about the miracles that would take place over the next year. Think about the transformation that you and I could witness in communities all across the land. Sons returning to their fathers, daughters returning to their mothers, families coming back together, health being restored, financial needs being met, mountains being moved. Think about it. If 1 million of us every week got together and prayed for this great country, how many know that God is well able to do it? Amen.
It's Housing and Urban Development Director Scott Turner, and it was a good event. I have to say, there was some. They had some kids speak too, like one 12-year-old boy who was pushing back against like. Actually, let me just play it. His school was pushing a particular book, and this kid was like, "Nope, I'm not entertaining this." Look at the brass set on this 12-year-old. Let's listen in.
Hi, I'm Shane Cias. I've been a Christian my whole life, and Jesus means everything to me. When I was in 5th grade, my school forced me to teach my kindergarten buddy about changing his gender using a book called My Shadow is Pink. The book said you can choose your gender based on feelings instead of how God made us. I knew this was not right, but I was afraid of getting in trouble. After my family spoke up, the school treated us badly, and kids started bullying me and my brother because of our faith. And the school did nothing to stop it. It hurt a lot, but I kept trusting God. I believe kids like me should be able to live our faith at school without being forced to go against what we believe. I hope no other family has to go through what mine did. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay. Great job. That was delivered well, wasn't it?
It was.
It was. Good on that kid. Now, shifting gears here, and I definitely want your take on this, Pamela.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's a new NBC News Decision Desk poll on Generation Z. And so I'm looking at, in particular, men who voted for Trump, women who voted for Harris.
Okay.
And they're asked about their priorities. Like, would you want to have no debt in life, or be spiritually grounded, or is financial independence important to you, or is being married or having kids important? What, like, rank your priorities in life? And again, this is 18 to 29-year-old men and women.
It's going to be flipped, isn't it?
It's kind of nuts. Gen Z men who voted for Trump say having children and financial independence are the top things for success in life. while women who voted for Harris, Gen Z women who voted for Harris, say a fulfilling job and having lots of money are what's most important.
I knew you were going to say that.
Women who voted for Harris ranked children 12th.
That is wild.
Yeah, well, let's see here. 34% of men who voted for Trump said having children is their top priority. If I'll be a success in life if I have kids.
I believe that.
Only 6% of young women who voted for Harris said having children is at the bottom of the list.
Because they're obsessed with themselves.
You
see it. Look online at the top influencers in that camp.
But
they're obsessed with themselves.
You're right. But if I look at the women who voted for Harris, young women, again, folks, fulfilling job and careers, 51% said that. Having money to do things you want, 46% said that. Number 3 top priority, having emotional stability.
Well,
good luck with that.
Yeah.
Especially because y'all are young. Wait till you get in your 50s.
That's something that they want, not something that they have.
That's what I thought. I mean, that's all these things for most, but yes. Using talents and resources to help others came in 4th for these young women. Then financial independence, then having no debt, owning own home, making family community proud, being grounded spiritually, only 11%, able to retire early, 6%, being married and having children, all coming in at 6%. Whereas the men who voted for Trump, young men, having children is at the top. 34% say that. 33% say financial independence. 30% say fulfilling job career. 29% say being married.
Gosh, those poor guys dating.
Seriously.
I feel bad for them. You know, they're probably going for older women.
Not the worst idea.
I bet.
I mean, depends on the older woman.
Yeah.
It might be just an older version of what we're talking about here.
But I mean, well,
but you're right. No, and
they're not looking for women who voted for
Harris.
Kamala anyway.
Right. And it's at the point of like, it is kind of a deal breaker.
Totally. Well, because you don't have, your foundation is totally opposite.
No, I admit, I said this the other day on air. I'm kind of a lib at heart, like the artsy fartsy. Like I don't mind like
in a classical way.
Yes. And I'm not even making a political point. I kind of like the idea of blurring boundaries and experimenting. And like, that's what art and music and movie and all this stuff. Like, I like that stuff. I like literature. But the more and more I look at the political situation, I think these young men have their priorities right.
Yeah.
Have children, be financially independent with a good job and be married. There you go.
That's it.
That should be that's pretty well put together. So and I'm one to talk, like I don't date. I've just unplugged myself from all that. It's actually been a good reset for the last 1.5, 2 years. But I do feel for these young guys and I'm like, man, well, just date within your own party. I wish it wasn't.
You have to date within your own party. I mean, and it's not that you're looking for somebody who's in your own party, but you're looking for somebody whose values line up with yours. And clearly there's a huge division.
Yeah. And it is the biggest gap in politics now, men and women. Biggest gap, especially single men and single women. Marriage tends to mellow people out in their political beliefs.
Yeah.
So that I think is going to be driving the car in our politics for quite a while. That doesn't change overnight, I don't think.
No.
But it's a little disappointing, but it's not. By the way, the bottom of men who voted for Trump's concerns, having emotional stability.
Well,
yeah. Once y'all meet some of these liberal women, you might have that higher up on the list. It's like, can't we just be normal? Can we just, anyway.
I can't speak on that because I'm all over the place emotionally and I'm not a liberal.
I think I have noticed as I get older, that is such a difference between men and women. Like,
oh yeah,
especially me living with my grandfather. Life is simple.
I know.
And quiet.
I
love like, what are we going to watch? What are we going to eat?
I love that for you.
We occasionally have a deep conversation about things, but generally it's like, yeah, whatever. You doing laundry day? Yeah, all right. Like everything's very transactional, very easy. And then I hear about people that are married or have uncles where it's the wife and the daughter, and it's like they're just surrounded by women. I'm like, your life sounds crazy, man. Not necessarily bad, like you chose this and you love them, but like, There's so much more. Just we have to do things. Open up the blinds. Why is it so dark in here? Like it's all.
Oh, I like the dark. But,
Yeah. Oh, right.
But yeah, my boyfriend's probably listening, and he's like, "Ah,
Yeah.
that sounds nice living with your granddad."
Right. What, you get to relax all day and not have to go do things? Yeah, exactly. I've made my choices. Anyway, we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Sheila Davis, whose family owns Davis Cafe on North Decatur Street here in Montgomery. Sheila, how easy was it to transfer your prescriptions over from a big box store?
Jim, it was very easy and comfortable. It wasn't hard at all, like steps 1, 2, 3. Just that easy.
Sheila, I know you go to the Adams Drugs on Adams Avenue. Tell me about your customer experience at Adams Avenue.
My customer experience at Adams Avenue was wonderful. The whole staff is wonderful. It's very hard for me to get out and to get my medicine. Adams Drugs has a wonderful delivery service that delivers my medicine to me on time, prompt, and whenever I run out, he's there on time.
Please come into Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs, your local independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Summer is ending, but the deals are hot at Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Just $29 service fee for all your AC and plumbing needs. Better call Clark today. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Clear sailing this week with a forecast that is very tolerable as far as humidity and pleasantly cool at night. Today, lots of sunshine, dry, comfortable humidity, high temperature in the middle 80s with mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature I've got us down around 66. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, more sun, a dry forecast. 86 tomorrow, 89 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, but the humidity under control, 60s at night, and dry through Saturday. From the National Weather Association Conference in Huntsville, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
It's back. The 72nd Alabama National Fair. 11 days of nonstop fun, October 3rd through the 13th. Thrill to the Zerbini Circus. Cheer on the hilarious Swifty Swine Racing Pigs. Rock out with the Puppet Tone Rockers. And that's just the beginning. Mark your calendar. School days are Monday the 6th and the 13th. Everyone gets in for $10. And don't miss 4 incredible concerts free with your fair admission. Corey Kent, Saturday the 4th. Skillet, Sunday the 5th. Anthony Hamilton, Saturday the 11th. And country legend Lee Greenwood, Sunday the 12th, with a salute to our hometown heroes. All concerts start at 7 p.m. Proudly presented by the Porch Band of Creek Indians. Imagine world-class shows, the circus, racing pigs, and amazing concerts, all for one low price. Skip the lines and save time. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster. The Alabama National Fair, October 3rd through the 13th. Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
The Alabama National Fair. It's the best 11 days of fall.
At Guardian Credit Union, it's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about relationships. If you want it, so do we. Need more adventure? So do we! Look forward to escaping the ordinary?
So do we.
Want to sharpen your skills in the kitchen?
So do we.
Want your kid to stick with music lessons?
So do we.
I think they got it, guys.
So do we.
Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS 912757.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Bradville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Yeah, good. I got to listen to quite a bit of the conversation today. It's been a good show.
I appreciate it. A little heavy for my liking, but that's what was in the news.
You know what? It is what it is. I think my take on it is a little different. So when these men and women get out of prison, they do their time, whatever it may be, one thing the state could do to help is give them the driver's license back. Make it mandatory that they have a driver's license when they leave prison. And get rid of all their old speeding tickets and fines to try to put them on a level playing field. Now me personally, I love helping people.
Yeah.
And I had this guy that we were doing a job. He was in the Collier County Jail. We hit it off. When he got out, I took him under my wings. You know, it took $3,000 to get his license back.
What?
Daggone.
$3,000 I had to spend to get that man's license back.
Yeah, and as much as
we're not New York.
Right.
So they get them out and say, hey, guys, go get a job and good luck. One, who's going to hire a felon without a driver's license?
Right.
They got to eat.
Well, you know, as much
they
as
have a place to sleep.
As much as we're called to uphold justice, we're also called to forgive. And if somebody's truly repentant and has been behaving quite well and is trying to do right, we should encourage that.
Well, I'm all about, look, if you do the crime, do the time.
Yeah.
But when you're done doing the time, why do we have to put a chain around their neck and throw them in the lake?
Right.
And the state really does. If you get a ticket, did you know if you get a ticket without a driver's license, you're on a 6-month probation before you can qualify to get another license. You get another one, it's another 6 months added on to that 6 months. So a lot of these guys get out. Next thing you know, they got 5 years with no chance of getting a driver's license.
What a mess. Absolute mess.
And so a lot of people don't see that side of the coin.
Right.
And Alabama could, that's the one, if I ever ran for anything state, I would run on that. That we got to make it where we give these people a chance when they get out. And if they don't do it, and it's on them, put them back.
Well, I think good points, all the above good points. Run out of time here. You still sell carpet?
We do. Call us, 285-8117. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Ray. Again, folks, it's Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet. Call them up, 285-8117. I've stolen enough time. Time to get out of here. Somebody tell Greg not to touch the wet paint.
I did.
Good.
I texted him.
Greg and Pamela, they're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Palestinian attack